I'm Kevin Casey. I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. And right now, what I'm about to do is issue a warning out to all other competitors.
I don't want overs. I just expect them to happen.
Fatty's gonna fatty is real.
Yeah, give me fucking truth, baby. Come on. Let's go.
How have I been this successful in life?
Welcome back, folks. Apologize for the dangly things from my ears. It's awful. Living this wired life. Being
That's
wired.
That's a Horsey life. That is not
wired
like you, Brad.
Is tired. Think about that. We're back with the MMA analysis. There's a couple of us here tonight. Well, three of us. I guess that's not a couple. A couple would be
Three's
two.
better than two.
Three is better than two. It is company, but the good kind. We're going to talk about some MMA stuff that's happening, I guess, and some MMA stuff that happened. Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir. Wes,
Shaun, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Wes muted himself, so I am not even allowed to unmute him. Other than that, yeah, I'm good, man. It's busy times. Summer's always a good time where I live, so it's busy, and you got to enjoy it because the shitty cold is near.
No more Edmonton Stingers home games for you. They have to go on the road in the playoffs.
I know, that's what I heard. That's sad.
Yeah, terrible. Shaun, like all of us, we're all big CEBL fans. Tremendous stuff. I don't think Wes can bet it yet, but
sadly, I don't know if anybody other than one site can bet it. So, well, no, I guess you said there's a couple.
There's a couple
more. They're just not. They just don't have shitty lines at those other books. They actually have decent line makers for these things.
We are we are legal here in a month.
There you go.
Counting down the days, eh, Wes? You're still keeping your plethora of available oats.
I don't have a plethora anymore of offshore and shit. Just a few, but
just a few, and the local.
I got the local, the credit book. That's always nice for futures and shit to, got 4 or 5K on there. You can just throw on season long futures. You don't have to worry about your shit being tied up everywhere else. So
love it.
And with the stick man, our boy Boser throwing out fucking
starting to get chilly in here.
Yeah, man's got us a fucking slate of hockey futures every year. So
tremendous time to be alive.
Yes.
We'll be in Vegas in a couple months now.
2 months, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like almost 3, but
3 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is
gonna creep up quick.
Yeah. I mean, we're in August now, and it's in October, so it is 2 months away. We'll go with that. Wes, anything else? I didn't really ask how you were. We just transitioned naturally, like a good podcast should do.
You know how it goes. Well, you don't know how it goes with fucking
nope.
A rugrat, maybe a nagging ass wife from time to time, but that's in your life from time to time. So you combine those things, and man, it makes for you almost you need some like therapy from time to time. Like it's okay to talk it out, try to get that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we're.
It's better than being.
Wes needs one of those break rooms. Like
I mean,
not just like for a break, but like where you go and actually smash.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say I could be 23 in an apartment and my outlet was smashing something into the wall. Not the wife, but just other things to let it out. But as you get older. Find other ways to let the
a gentler soul emerges.
Yeah, smoke a lot more weed. That's for sure.
It's the buildup over the years that really does it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we had. Is it awesome? It was good.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah.
A very enjoyable pay-per-view. I went to the old Boston Pizza and watched this one with my dad because I was back out that way. So
they're still showing it there, eh?
Yeah, there was actually a decent crowd there. Last time I was there, it was the Izzy Behera first fight, and it was sparse, but every seat was in the bar area was taken. So,
but Poirier Gaethje's pretty. It's pretty big. Yep. Pretty big names too.
So. I was just kind of surprised that Izzy didn't have like any crowd at all out. That was a bit surprising, but hey, so it goes. Maybe they were out for Pereira.
Did they also show the Bud fight at that place too?
No.
That's I think boxing's a bit harder to find up here anyway. I think you have to go to some specific bars up here that show boxing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, most places here, like the little bar, or not little, but bars and shit that do show stuff, usually show like they do all the stuff, the pay-per-view, whether it be boxing or MMA. I think they pay kind of a certain set price, especially when it's ESPN selling the pay-per-views that they say got a certain set price that they pay for all that shit. So
they're like a corporate sponsor, and they get all of the pay-per-views for being the corporate sponsor. I don't know. It works. Anyway, was there anything you wanted to say about the boxing, Wes?
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple things. Spence isn't Spence from a few years ago. He's still Earl Spence, though. And what Bud Crawford did Saturday night was probably, I've watched a lot of boxing for a lot of years. It's one of the greatest big fight, big on the line, everything on the line performances I've ever seen. Bud, he demolished him. It literally wasn't close. It was an ass kicking, man. And I know our boy Magic is an Inoue guy, and look, I get it. Inoue is incredible. He's absolutely insane. But what we saw out of Bud Saturday night that's legacy defining shit. Like that is there. He's only like, I believe, the second or third man to ever completely hold the lineal title in two different weight classes. He's only like the second or third dude to do it at welterweight. I mean, it's just, the man's unbelievable. He's one of the greatest boxers of this generation. And Saturday night just was credible. Minus 140 at one point. Woo. 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 I'll just say woo.
In hindsight, wow.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight, you would have liked to have even more on it, but I had a pretty good chunk on Bud because I liked him. I leaned that way. Then, when our boy Matty was like, I love Bud tonight, then I just shoved most of the stack in. So it's pretty good. But yeah, hindsight, it's incredible, man. I know, like, even Shaun watches a lot more boxing nowadays and stuff. And Shaun was even talking in our chat that, like, Jesus, man, that was just a otherworldly performance. Who cares who was in the other side? It was Earl Spence. And
that just adds to it that he could have that type of performance against a boxer as good as
he at that one point knocked. I saw the video afterwards. Knocked Earl Spence down, looked out into the crowd, grabbed his nuts to Charlo, and was like, "You're next." That's a moment to you're like, this Bud's the man, dude, and he could possibly go up to 154, unify another title, and put himself in like legitimate all-time great category if he does that. That's unheard of what he would do. 147, 154, I believe he was one. I can't remember the exact weight below 147, but to unify three belts in those weight classes, like 147 is the premier weight in current generation boxing. Like welterweight is the weight. It's always your Oscars, your Felix Trinidad's, all of the greats of the past 20 years have won that belt, and Bud unified that shit. That's hard to do with four belts and how the sanctioning bodies and all that shit work nowadays. Yep. It's really hard. And props to Earl Spence for daring to be great. Props to Earl for he knew what he was in for, dared to be great. And I tweeted the video last night. I tweeted the video. I love before the fight when they was doing the stare down. They was literally like, dude, we did it. We're going to make bank, bro. And dapped each other up and was like, let's throw down and make a fucking bag. and they did. It was a great fight.
I didn't watch any of it. I'm gonna pretend like what you said was good.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not gonna like get close to crying like Puke Thomas or anything, but it was great. It was good.
It was good, man.
Shaun,
I hope they don't do the rematch. I hope Bud does something big just because he is that age. Like I don't know how many more years he's gonna be at that level. So
they have a rematch clause.
I know there's a rematch clause, but just
I think Bud is gonna have to move up and try to make the Charlo fight to not fight Spence again, because nobody needs this. If I was Spence, I'd want it, because Spence is probably going to make another $20-30 million for a rematch regardless, but nobody needs to see that again.
Not right now.
No, not right now.
I didn't see it the first time, and now I wouldn't watch it. I'll probably go back and watch the first one eventually. I usually have like a day where I'm just like, I just want to watch some boxing, and I'll just go watch all the big fights from the air, but otherwise I couldn't tell you what happens in boxing. So I appreciate that.
This has been
a good year,
and very good year.
One of the best in recent memory that I can remember. Boxing is like back. It has been incredible.
Hell yeah, we're getting Fury and Haganu.
I mean, look, say what you will about that fight. Like, that's a massive fight. Though.
I know,
like,
but it's very stupid. Like I'm glad Francis is getting the money and stuff like that, but it should be Usyk, and he's kind of ducking Usyk, and it's kind of greasy.
In any other generation, though, even the past 10, 20 years, if you're going to say you're going to put the heavyweight champion of the UFC against the lineal heavyweight boxing champion, that is insane. It's still insane. It's going to sell a ton of pay-per-views. That fight's going to
tell that to Lance.
Those people are dumb. Like, those people are just dumb. Like, look,
hey, what do you mean those people? Talking about Lance? Those are my people.
When are people going to realize, like, freak shows sell better than actual great fights?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It always has.
This sport was built on freak shows.
It always has. It's always sold better. Always.
Yep. It's crazy. Jeez.
Hey, we get fucking Nate and
Jake Paul
this weekend.
I'm going up to the cottage this weekend, so I will not be tuning into that.
I'm betting Nate.
I'm betting Nate too, and I'm gonna lose some money, and I'm gonna be sad again.
There's no way he should be like almost a 3-1 dog to fucking.
I know, but I also thought that Anderson Silva at like plus 200 was a good number too.
Anderson Silva was winning that fight until he like seemingly gassed out for some reason. I have no idea why, but he was winning that fight. Yeah. See, and on the other side, Tommy Fury got the money anyway, so he didn't like fake gas out and beat the shit out of that dude. Tommy Fury, who's a bum, is an absolute bum. Dude, Nate is liable to box this dude. If Nate is literally like just not stoned and don't give a fuck, literally just doesn't care.
Very possible.
It's
you
possible.
Know what? They say that the stoners have the good jiu-jitsu cardio. So I think Nate's going to be fine even if he is stoned out there.
I think Nate is going to show up and box that dude.
I hope so.
I think he's going.
I very much hope so.
Yeah.
And I'll be streaming it on a phone somewhere. And
honestly, if he doesn't, Jake Paul, King of the Streets. Lodi, bitch.
Lodi.
Chase Chevrolet and all that.
Classic.
Hey, your boy, what's his sidekick's name? Alvia or whatever.
Chris Avila, he's boxing too.
Jeremy Stevens.
Hey, I will say I've never been a Diaz guy, but I will say this for them: they bring their boys along.
They get their homies paid, man.
Yep,
they do. That they do.
Good for them.
No matter how bad they are.
Martin Cano was one of theirs too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He was good. Anyway, we had a good card last week, UFC 291. We'll go quickly through the prelims, and I assume we want to talk a little bit about the good stuff. Miranda Maverick, 3rd round submission over Catch a Beating. Uros Medic, 3rd round knockout over the Semmelsberger. Jake Matthews, 2nd round rear naked choke over Darius Flowers. He ruined it. Roman Kopylov, second round KO over Claudio Ribeiro. How many more? CJ Vergara, unanimous decision over Vinny Salvos, and Gabriel Bonfim. I think Bon means good, and Fim means at fighting. Gabriel Bonfim, he's pretty good. Guillotine over Trevin Giles, 1:13 into the first. Shaun, prelim thoughts.
Semmelsberger has 4 losses in the UFC. He's dropped guys in 3 of those 4 fights.
Yeah, that's great. That was such an easy bet.
This dude has power and just cannot finish fights. It is a wild thing to see. I didn't play him. I was looking at him for a bit. Medic looked good late, a little early. It was a bit scary, but I don't know how he'll do against a grappler just in going up to this weight class. But if you're striking in a fight, he's going to put on some fun ones. Kopylov he's very good if he doesn't have to grapple. Still got caught, but his striking is fun to watch. Jake Matthews. Yeah, I know. I've been losing money fading him, and he is crushing the guys lately. He's kind of figured some things out, but that's all I got.
The one time I bet Kopylov was against the other fraud, Duraev, and of course he lost that one.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like plus something stupid. But that was the only time I bet him, so now I just can't help but think of him as a fraud. So
he get choked out by fucking what's his name?
Roberson.
Roberson. Like that is imprinted in my brain and why I continue to lose money fading this guy.
Yep. Wesley, prelims.
Catch a Beaten might be the most cheating ass fighter that I've ever seen.
So good.
Like,
eye gouging.
She
your
literally
hand in your bras and shit like that.
It's like she's fighting for a fucking scrap on a favela street. Like
she is
fucking like a cheating ass motherfucker. And
love
MMA,
it.
Like,
respect it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Gotta.
I don't know how good Medic is, man. I'll take the plus 170 there. That was a good hit. Jake Matthews, look, I'll give it to Flowers. Dude showed up and said, "Fuck it, let's go."
He went and brought it because that was his shot. Because it didn't look like he had much gas after. But you got to give him props for actually going for it.
He cracked Jake a couple times. Like he caught him a couple times. Jake's chin held up nicely. Jake did what he needed to do. The line was pretty laughable though. Like it's like minus 240 or something on Jake Matthews against this guy. Like I had a pretty good chunk on him in multiple parlays. I thought that was a really good parlay piece. Kopylov's still a fraud, man. I don't care. That guy's not. Look, he's okay, but he's not what people were losing.
We just
their
need a
shit.
grappler. We just need a grappler.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck about Viagra, man? The good Fon V brother is very fucking good. That guy might be like legit at 170. Very, very impressive. That what I saw at it.
That guy jumping guillotine. Usually you hate seeing that. This guy might be good enough that it works for him.
It's like Do Bronx like it's like we'll say like Do Bronx like because he's not. But they work when he gets a hold of you. They work.
Yep. Every division is more fun when there is a Brazilian finisher at the top of it.
Wild man finisher that it just go for it. Yeah,
so much better. Main card. Kicked it off in the welterweight division. Kevin Holland, Michael Chiesa looked like he immediately did not want to be in there. Kevin Holland submitted him in 239 of the first round. Probably could have done it sooner if he wanted to. Shaun?
Chiesa, I bet him. It was a terrible bet. He was absolutely terrified of striking with Kevin Holland, and he was panic wrestling after like a couple seconds.
If he gets his nose broke, he can't be on TV for a while. Like, hey,
made a business decision. He should stay on the desk, methinks, because at welterweight, if he just can't get guys down instantly, he gets chewed up on the feet, and it's kind of sad to watch.
He'll be on all of the Fight Pass grappling cards.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I would guess like do that, do your broadcasting, and make a little bit of money. Wes, any additional thoughts there?
He said he's not done, but come on, bro. Like after that,
He'd look pretty done.
You're gonna bullshit us and say that you're making quick business decisions in there at this point. Like,
in his defense, not a lot of guys at welterweight are as dangerous as Kevin Holland, or maybe not as dangerous, but like are going to hit you as much as Kevin Holland does.
Yeah, I mean, hit you hard. Kevin Holland seems like he has some decent power.
Yeah.
Look, Holland is growing on me a little bit. Like I thought this guy was a fraud forever, and at 170 with that size and that length and stuff, man, like,
he still can't wrestle.
Yeah. That is the issue. But if he steers clear of grapplers, he'll do all right.
When he gets to the level of striking against guys like Wonder Boy, he's got a problem too. But
yeah, elite. I mean, obviously.
I mean, he did a lot more to Wonder Boy than a lot of guys have.
That's for sure. He brought the dog out in Wonder Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
he got a lot more done to him as well. But
yeah,
that's where like Kevin Holland's, he's very good. Like if he can bring that out of Wonder Boy and put him in those spots, like he's not that good at striking, but he's close to that good. And I think Holland's pretty good at 170. I don't. He's growing on me a little bit.
Yeah.
So who are the guys that he's obviously going to struggle at the very top of the division because we've seen that with Chimaev.
170's not great though. As
Shave Cat would beat the brakes off of him.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, Gilbert Burns probably ties him in knots.
Gilbert might strike with him for long enough that one gets dangerous.
Yeah. Bilal Muhammad probably just
Bilal's gonna wrestle fucking him. Yeah.
I mean, even Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal fight would be a fun one.
He's got one coming up, doesn't he?
If Neal wins coming up, maybe that's a fight to make.
Holland is fighting way before waiting on a lot of these guys. Like I give him,
especially after that quick one.
Yeah, that dude wants to fight and make money. Like, props to him.
Yep. That's how you make money in the UFC.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah, you got to be active, like very active.
Speaking of, well, no, I guess he's not very active. He seemed like he was for a while. Bobby Green, the arm triangle with 6 seconds left against old Tony Ferguson. Very, very old Tony Ferguson. Shaun?
This was all kinds of things. It was sad. It was also funny because Bobby Green's getting clipped by an absolutely fucking washed Tony Ferguson. And then the perfect ending of Tony putting himself in an arm triangle and just deciding to just lose with 6 seconds left.
So, like, Tony never really had power, right?
Yeah.
There was
usually like pressured guys and forced them into like weird grappling exchanges and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's got the same amount of power. He just hits guys way less frequently now. He doesn't get in on much very clean anymore.
No, he's paying to land anything.
Yeah. Wes?
Man, he looked, his body looked alien. Like it's so old looking. It's bad, man. And I mean, gave some spots in that fight where he caught Bobby Green a couple times, but it's Bobby Green. He's the dude that's going to let Tony Ferguson tee off on him a little bit. Not a lot of other guys are going to do that. I don't know what you do with Tony at this point. You can't like pay the guy big money. You put him in big fights against decent names, he's gonna get murdered. I don't know where Tony goes from here, man.
You politely ask him to stop fighting. That's what you do.
He's not. That guy. He literally is not gonna stop fighting until he's dead. Like that's a dude that's gonna fight forever. Like
he'll be in PFL or Bellator. Or...
He absolutely will. He's gonna fight till he literally can't no more. That dude. the press conference, like pulls a fucking knife out of his boot and shit. Like that dude's fighting until he can't fight no more. Trust me.
Yeah.
Sad. Sad.
Yeah. No more of that. Bobby Green. I didn't bet him. I said you couldn't trust him as like minus 400 or whatever he is. I stand by that decision.
I did. I bet the shit out of him.
Somebody else who got the shit bet out of him.
Let's go.
Black Beast.
Let's go.
Is he top 5? He is very much not top 5.
No.
I was shocked that he was top 15. And Black Beast showed why. Wes, you're finally a Black Beast guy.
Look,
you are. Just
anybody that watches this shit knows how I've been with the Black Beast. Recently, I've actually bet on Black Beast a little bit.
And you've been losing.
He's lost.
You've been mushing him.
Look, it's better when we have somebody like Derek Lewis in this sport.
Absolutely.
I mean, first, just the fight. The dude came and looked like in the best shape he's been in 3 or 4 years. You could tell he started making money, hit the peak, and relied on just deading guys when he could. When he couldn't, he was finding ways out, man. He was at that point. He showed up like his career was on the line. Looked in shape.
This was the contract fight, right?
Turns out it kind of was.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny how that happens. So,
yep.
Man hits a flying knee.
Spalls was hot.
Pulls his fucking shorts off and DX chops on motherfuckers. I mean, dude, come on. That moment, that's one of the good moments in fucking MMA over the past couple years. Like the bullshit that we put up with from week to week in this fucking sport. When
Make it fun.
You get shit like that, you come back like, man, I love this dumbass fucking sport. Like, it's so good. Derek Lewis at almost 2-1 against this bum. Come on, man. That was great stuff.
I'm a little upset with myself. Didn't take first minute. Only took first round. Nice price on first round TKO because
obviously. What was round 1 TKO?
I got 475 at old Mason book.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good. And then we all had a nice time on
consensus winner plus 195. What Bet Online was when we when we recorded last week. So that's a nice little number.
Go main event, consensus winner followed by easy Munich winner. 13-43-3 all-time record now for Munich. I don't know what else to say. It's a thing unto itself now. Shaun, thoughts on Alex Bahia taking the decision, very clear decision, over Jan Blachowicz?
I bet Jan. It was looking all right early. Couldn't finish that rear naked choke. Props to Pereira for being able to just lay there for 5 minutes and not get subbed, but
chilling in the river, baby. Chilling in the river.
That's why they train that, bro. That's the exact situation.
Yeah, you get to the position, you just don't drown.
And just let the other man tire himself out, and that's what he did. I scored it for Pereira. I thought it was somewhat easy to judge. It really comes down to that third round. Jan landed some stuff early, but he just got volumed and just more power from Pereira. So Jan is not a good grappler, but I don't know if there is good grapplers at 205 other than Ankalaev, I guess. So if Pereira steers clear of him,
I guess Bearju is not at 205 anymore, so he doesn't have to worry about him. But
so if he's able to not fight Ankalaev, he might do all right at 205 because even when he's tired, that striking is still good.
They're definitely not going to make him face Ankalaev.
Yeah.
I mean, he might
get the title shot against
I think
Yuri.
he is.
He might be dumb enough to take a fight against Ankalaev in like UAE or something like that, just because he wants to fight all the time. But I think he can angle for a better one than that.
I think Pereira gets the title shot against Yuri, and that's going to be a wild ass fight.
Yep.
I think Pereira dead Yuri.
Would not surprise me.
I think he dead Yuri. Look,
Dominic Reyes almost did it. So,
look, man. I mean, if you're going to be able to take that dude down and have his back for 4 minutes and not sub him, like you got problems. Like, look, Pereira's always going to have the takedown defense problem. He's always going to have it. After that first round, though, like Jan got a hold of him once or twice against the cage and shit, and Pereira fought him off and just shucked him off and shit. So,
yep.
Like, if you don't get Pereira down first round and get him out of there, I don't think those takedowns are coming as easy with anybody else at 205. Ankalaev doesn't wrestle anymore. He fucking kickboxes and shit.
You know who the biggest problem is for him right now? Nikita Krylov.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. But man, like, this dude, like, how did this guy make 185? Like, I know we say that about a lot of dudes. It is like scientifically impossible that this dude made 185. That is incredible. He was 230 something on fight night. That is insane, man. That dude is massive. He hits like he's just one of those dudes, man, that you can train all the technique and have all the power and shit. That dude's just born with some thud ass shit, man. I know we all hate calf kicks. Pereira doesn't just calf kick. He like deads legs. Like when that dude leg kicks you, it is nasty. Jan's whole back of his leg was purple and shit, dude. Pereira is probably going to be champ at 205. Like he knocks out Yuri. If he fights Ankalaev sometime for a belt, Ankalaev doesn't really wrestle too much. He's going to knock Ankalaev out.
Ankalaev is also a lot of like upper body wrestling, and it seems that's what Pereira is actually best at defending.
Yeah, anything that when it's up against the cage and they're trying to upper body grapple him and shit, like he's strong. He's really strong up there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy the dude could be a 2-division champ at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Less than 10 fights into his MMA career.
There's I can only really think of like Brock that has come in and in that little amount of fights has fought the guys in the big fights that he's had in that short amount of time. I can't remember too many others that came into MMA that late and had to fight the guys he had to fight that early on.
Yeah. And none that did it successfully, at least.
Yeah, and won a belt. Yeah, just dude's insane. And you train with the Glover, man. They take field trips out of the garage and try to drown you in the river. There's nobody choking you out, bro. Nobody.
Definitely nobody at light heavyweight. Main event. Justin Gaethje gets revenge over Dustin Poirier, taking the prestigious vacant BMF title. Oh, a thing of beauty we all cared so much about. The fight itself was, I think we were all looking forward to it. This BMF shit has to go. This is brutal, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty corny.
Shaun, thoughts on the fight, though?
The only thing I recognize like that is Capoza's balance weight title. Just let him award it to motherfuckers and get rid of that belt.
Yep.
As soon as you make it a physical belt, it ruins everything. Yeah, the fight was awesome. I took Gaethje pretty big. And man, he was leaning into those he was dipping and Poirier was kicking him, and he was very close to catching one of those clean. He blocked most of them, but yeah, that combination.
That one, it just got through. It was nice.
Yep. That jab fucking head kick combination is as we've seen, it can be deadly, and happy for Gaethje. I know Poirier's a good dude. Gaethje's, I just think, has a little more tread left, and so I was kind of happy that he won. I don't know how many fights Poirier really wants left. He's kind of just big game hunting at this point, and if they don't do the McGregor fight again, I don't know what excites that dude, but he's still an unreal fighter.
Don't make him fight two Bronx. You don't want that. Wes?
Yeah, props to Gaethje. I mean, we've said it before. Most exciting fighter in MMA. Like, whatever kind of fight he's in, every single round is nonstop action, crazy knockouts. He gets knocked out. He knocks guys out. That tweet that kind of went viral in MMA Twitter where the guy was saying it should have been a DQ because Gaethje kicked him behind the head. That's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I hope that dude's trolling because
dude connects with the shin to the side of his face, but the toe smack him in the back of the head. At the back of the head shot. I'm like, gotta be trolling. Has to be. I thought Dustin actually looked good and had a great game plan. Probably won the first round. Gaethje threw that head kick like 3 or 4 times in the first round, and Dustin blocked it every time. The one that he got dropped with, Dustin went to block it and got most of it. It just got through pretty good. Knocked him fucking out, man. Great kick. I mean, Gaethje's adding to his game. Like, Gaethje's not had a lot of like that jab head kick combo a lot in his career. Like,
his defense was way better this time too.
It's been since the second round of the Fiziev fight. Like, after he got the shit kicked out of him in the first round, since the second round of the Fiziev fight, he's definitely, they say it's like conservative. Gaethje, I don't even want to say it's conservative. It's just like not fighting fucking reckless. It's not conservative. It's just
it's conservative by his standards. But
by his standards.
Anybody else is a fucking wild man version of themselves.
And look how good and exciting he still is when he's being like conservative and fight, because he's still so technical, man. Like, great. Gaethje looked good. I don't know how much tread even Gaethje's got left. I mean, the dude is still taking a lot of beatings, man. Like, he was getting caught a little bit by Dustin in the first round. Like, Gaethje is always going to be one clean hit from being hurt, though. Like, we've seen it. Oh, even at his UFC career, over and over and over, he gets hit clean. He still gets hurt. So, but I mean, we're going to watch him fight anybody. He's got big fights coming up, man. Maybe he gets back in for a title shot. It's been a little bit for him, but that division's great, man. There's so many guys, man. Great division. Gaethje's awesome. Most exciting fighter round by round in the UFC.
Agreed. Other than Dubronx. Dubronx is more exciting per round.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there's rarely a Dubronx round where either he or his opponent is getting their ass kicked. So, anyway, that was a good card. I think. Are we getting back on track, Shaun?
We are starting.
Nice.
I had a
winning
like
event
too, Molly. That was.
But we're moving on to Lance's neck of the woods. And as
the
is
first
tradition,
Nashville I haven't went to, I think.
Well, it's probably not the last Nashville card that Lance isn't going to show up for. So we'll see. Anyway, UFC on ESPN, not EFC on USPN. That's maybe the next TV deal. Sandhagen font. Good card. Pretty good. It's okay for like a TV card. But we're going to kick it off in the flyweight division. O'Day, Black Sabbath Osbourne, taking on Asu Almabayev. Shaun, who is this guy?
I don't know, but that was a legit. Seems like a legit way to say his name, Brad.
Never get that.
Did
close.
Not thought you went straight on that one. That was did not
Always.
Always.
I'm the straight man on this podcast.
That's right.
Tell it like it is. I'm like
Yep.
Gorilla Monsoon in the booth, baby.
Yeah, I don't know much about Asu. I mean, he's got a bunch of wins against. I don't know who those guys are. Zach Makovsky, I guess, is a thing, but
He went to a split with Zach Makovsky in 2022.
yeah,
Like, that's not like great
not good.
shit or anything.
He's got a lot of
It's not great.
abs.
He does have a lot of abs.
Lots of abs.
I mean, abs. This man, where's he from? Fucking Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
He's on the Kazakhstan rock slide yams, bro. Because this dude is fucking juicing.
Does he train with
No.
with the Shave Cat? No.
No way.
Where's he?
I don't
No,
know.
he's
I don't know where Shave Cat trains.
he's not out of Kazakhstan training, so no.
It says they're from the same gym in Kazakhstan.
Oh,
So I
shit.
assume
so they
they're
train
both-
together.
Yeah,
but
I assume they're both training wherever.
He was a
they're-
body bag maybe at one time for Shave Cat, you know.
Shave Cat's now in the US. I don't know if he's full time there, but I'm pretty sure he was at AT&T.
AT&T. Nice.
AT&T.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he had to get a full-time job to pay for fighting. So it could be.
Yeah, I'll pick Osbourne. He's just the more known commodity. I mean, he still has his flaws. He can get knocked out, so maybe this guy does that. But at the numbers that I'll pick Osbourne. I don't think I'll bet him just because it's fairly low level, and Osbourne has let a lot of people down. So I'll probably stay away, but pick him in Title Master.
Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about this dude, but I mean, Ode's a pretty tough, durable out every time. Like, even when the dude loses, I know we hit Nam pretty nice, but Ode in that fight was getting fucking silly. And remember how Nam knocked him out? Ode's doing some jump bullshit. Nam snipes him out of the air and shit. Like, so when Ode's like not doing dumb shit, he's usually a very tough, durable out. And I mean, I could see him grinding and trying to push this dude against the cage and do some slow shit like that and sneak out a decision here. I mean, at plus 165 on a newcomer to UFC that's not really fighting great guys. I mean, Ode's pretty tough and durable. I mean, I feel like you almost definitely dog or pass, right? Plus 165, I'm probably going to take a little shot on Ode here. And if this dude's like the next coming out of, Shave Cat's old gym, then he is, and he gets Ode out of there. So I'll probably take a little shot on Ode here. I think he can squeak out a decision.
Yeah, I'm going to try it as well. I just not too confident in old Asu. Although you missed the best win on his resume. MMA analysis legend Chris Kailedes.
Hey, ladies.
That one was in a very, very important 2019 bout. Because I don't know when the last time Chris Kailedes would have fought prior to that. I think that's towards the end of his career. But yeah, we're going to go Ode here. I think that he is going to be somewhat able to keep it on his feet. And I always have questions about these guys coming out of, I know Brave's like a decent promotion, but just like how good are they? Are they on the Bellator Human Sacrifice Hour, but Kazakhstan version? Or is it legit guys that they're fighting? Next up, featherweight division. No, we're still in the flyweight division. Why do they do this to me?
I think you're right. I think you're the first one. I think Wikipedia.
All right. Closing Wikipedia then. Fuck Wikipedia.
Yep. Do it.
Dennis Buzukja taking on way too tall for himself. Looks like he is going to collapse. Just Slender Man himself. Shaun Woodson. Shaun as a fellow Shaun.
And too tall and lanky for his own.
I didn't want to go there,
Oh,
but does this Shaun make you ashamed, or is it like okay because he spells it differently?
Yeah, I mean he's definitely the more Sean Carey vibe. Is what I think.
Yeah.
He looks emaciated in there. It's not good.
No.
And the dude is hittable. He's got good offense. I think that's what he's used to get here, but he gets cracked, man. Obviously, we saw last time out he got dropped a couple times. Is Dennis Buzukja on late notice the guy that's going to be able to do it? It's possible. This seems like one of those ones where guy coming on late notice against kind of a guy that's we think is a bit of a fraud that's been getting by. It's possible. I don't really want to bet it, so I'll just pick him. But I think it's dog or pass.
Wesley.
Yeah, I mean, this Buzukja dude is out of Weidman and Longo, and he did get a shot on the Contender Series a few years ago now against Bagdasarian, and pretty much lost pretty wide decision in that fight. I mean, he's went and beat a bunch of bums since then. A lot of grappling though. It seems like he's more of a grappler than stand up, and I'm not sure you're gonna get consistent takedowns on Woodson. Like I think you have to box him up because he can get hit and you can hurt him on the feet. I don't know if this guy's got that much on the feet to win that kind of fight with Woodson. I think he's going to try to go for takedowns, and Woodson's a hard dude to get down. So look, I'm not laying minus 175 on Woodson against even this bum. So a pass for me, but I think the pick's got to be Woodson. I don't think this guy can win a striking match with him.
What's the line here now?
70 minus 175 plus 150.
Yeah. I like to fade Woodson when he's like minus 300 for no reason, not minus 175. Okay. I'm going to make the case. We got it. What is Ray Longo's most famous piece of cornering advice?
Jab?
No. Punch a fucking hole in his chest.
Oh.
I mean, if there's ever a guy to punch a fucking hole in his chest,
Literally,
it's this guy.
But what's Weidman saying? Don't break your leg. Take him down, kid. You know, like...
No, because it was Weidman against Anderson where he said that, I think. And look how that turned out. So Weidman knows. He knows when to just get out of the way and let it happen. So Dennis Buzukja by body shot. He might just like reach in and like rip his heart out Mortal Kombat style. I don't know. Yeah. But we're taking the dog here. I haven't actually bet this. I don't know that I'm going to, but had to make the case for it. Flyweight division. Got another late replacement here. Jake Hadley. Is this guy's... He's the White Kong? Is that him?
That's racist. That's so fucking racist.
It's different because he's British. It doesn't.
I don't like the sound of it.
It's British. It's different.
I do not like the sound of it. I do not like the cut of its jib. He's taken on another guy who I don't like the sound of or the cut of his jib. Cody Durden.
Talk about a little racist.
This is quite the matchup here.
This is for the White Kong Championship belt. It's a new one. They just made it up. Bring real importance, gravitas to the fights.
Got some stars and bars on it. You know,
all the lines are thin, painted blue,
crossed. You know, X-like. That's why Elon turned it to X.
Shit show. I kind of like Durden here. I know he's a moron and his striking is trash, but I think he's going to be able to grapple here. It might be a bit scary at the end. I I think he can definitely get a round. It's the second round that you have to worry about. But Hadley's got terrible takedown defense, and I mean, we saw Durden against a guy that gets taken down but can get back up again, and he was able to keep it up for the most part through 15. So I took a shot on him. He was plus 170 for a unit.
Wesley.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same side of Shaun here. I just think Durden can grapple a little bit. Is he a moron? Absolutely. Striking ain't great, but I just think he's going to be bigger and stronger than Hadley here, and he can control him and get a couple rounds, and he's a very nice price. Yeah, Durden by decision.
I think that Durden is the better wrestler here, but then they're going to actually start grappling, and I think that Hadley is the much better grappler. I think that could come into play, especially like he said in the second, third round. On the feet, I don't think Durden does much. I mean, he's got a little bit of power maybe, but kind of suspect chin for a 125er. So yeah, I'm taking Hadley. Not feeling great about it being on the island here. Early in the week, I was considering a little parlay with him, but I think you guys might have talked me out of that. Next up, featherweight division. We're just flip-flopping. Featherweight, flyweight, all the time. Damon the Leech Jackson taking on Billy Q. Shaun, I'm going to try and speed things up now.
All right. This should be fun. Damon Jackson comes out and usually is either getting in a war or getting a sub, or it's usually a good time, and Billy Q does the same thing. I think Jackson's got to get this done early because I think Quarantillo's pace and wrestling are going to take over. And if he doesn't get him, then I think Billy Q takes over and finishes him late in the second or early third. So I took the under 2.5 at minus 133 for a unit.
Wesley.
Yeah, I kind of see it playing out about the same way. Damon Jackson's got a really good chance early. We know he goes for a lot of shit. I'm not sure he can get that takedown on Billy Q and pull off a sub. Maybe. Billy Q second and third round is just going to be pouring on, and I'm not sure Damon Jackson will be able to keep up if it gets there. But I like the under too. I think Damon Jackson early. If not, Billy Q's pressure starts adding up in the second and third round, and he can get Damon Jackson out of there. So I like the under. Pick is Billy Q.
I kind of like the under, but at the same time, I think a big portion of when that happens is a late Billy Q stoppage. So this is one of the rare ones where like I would feel much more comfortable doing doesn't go, but then the price is too much and just get trapped inside of a riddle, inside of an enigma. You can't do anything.
Plus 800 for Billy Q round 3.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
you got me there a bit quicker than this was gonna happen. Anyway, moving on. Thank you. Who do we have next? Sorry, I was looking at the Leech. Although apparently he's Damon Action Jackson now, which I think is, you got the rhyme. Yeah. He's in fun fights.
Carl Weathers, baby. You always do Action Jackson. Your last name's Jackson. You do action.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
And the reason I think it's Billy Q is because he only gets knocked out by guys that hit a lot harder than Damon Jackson. So next, welterweight division. The Carlton Harris taking on Jeremiah still is, and will always be a Bullfrog Wells. Shaun, what are we liking here?
I like the Bullfrog. I know he got clipped by Semmelsberger. Seems like most people get clipped by Semmelsberger, but this dude has very good grappling. He's showed pretty good cardio considering how grueling that fight was and how many times he was getting hurt. I just don't think Carlton Harris is that good. I know he's got a couple wins, but not against great guys. I think Bullfrog is pretty damn good. So I haven't taken him yet, but I am looking at it now that the price has come way down I don't know if you saw what this opened. It was minus 230 for Wells, and now he's sitting at minus 127.
Wes?
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Look, I wish Jeremiah Wells wasn't 36. Like, I wish we could have got this dude a decade ago. So I'm telling you, he does just about everything well. Can grapple, good takedown defense, can keep it up if he wants, can throw down, got a chin. I mean, I think this is short. I think this is a good price on still a really good dude at 36. Doesn't have a lot of miles on him. I don't think Carlton's great. I don't get it. I don't know where all this money's coming from for Carlton fucking Harris, but I mean, has people watched Wells fight? Have they watched Selmasburger like clock everybody he's ever fought? You know what I'm saying? Like, Wells got in one with him. I like the Bullfrog here, man. This is going to be a pretty good bet for me.
Yeah, and Wells seems to know what he does or what he should do in fights. He does seem to fight pretty smart, maybe aside from the debut against Warley, where he just kind of went to war. But even that worked out. Like, he knew he had the cardio advantage, so even that one worked out for him. But yeah, I like the Bullfrog here. I think if anyone's going to be getting takedowns in this fight, I think it might actually be him. I don't think that Harris is going to have an easy time getting him down, and we'll see what happens from there. But I think that Bullfrog has a little bit more power and will make the better decisions here. So we're going with him minus. What do we got, Shaun?
127 at Bet Online. Let's go.
Tremendous. Minus 127. Wells.
Consensus?
Yep.
That's consensus.
Ooh.
Let's go.
That's the one for the week. Yeah. And like, always look for the best lines.
Always.
We preach it here. Shaun always finds it for us. And then the rest of us bet it.
It was giving you a place you could go look at all the lines, but you know,
they don't have all the lines though, so that's what annoys me.
I've thought about switching a couple of times. It's irked me pretty bad a few times, but
I usually have both open now. But then even then, sometimes bet stamp on the phone is easier than some of these sites, at least for all the legals.
Yep.
So. Yeah, for the legals now, because their stuff's kind of wonky. Props is the problem with that too, which irks me as well. But
yeah, you gotta get more than just the penny stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway. Replace the fights. God damn it! Like, do you want people to use it? Like, I tried to get people to use it. It's like, you're not going to replace fights that have been announced 3 days past. Like, come on.
I tried for a while, but
I did too, man. Yeah.
Post it.
Oh, I meant trying to get them to get on their shit, but
oh no, I meant actually using it. I'm one of them. Anyway, bantamweight division. Hadley Barcelos taking on Kyler Phillips.
Anything.
Shaun.
Yeah, I had big hopes for Kyler Phillips. Maybe it's still there. It's so tough when he just doesn't fight very much. I know that the Paiva fight that he lost, he probably won, but that was still a close fight. When he's having the most success is when he can mix up his striking and his takedowns. I don't know if he's going to be able to take down Hadley Barcelos. So then that's going to be a striking matchup, and then this fight gets a bit closer. So I'm not laying it on Phillips. I do think he probably wins because Hadley is getting up there in age, but I'm kind of seeing some flags that I don't like on the Phillips side.
Wesley.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree again here. It's a fight that I think Phillips probably wins, but there's just some ways this can go to where Hani can make this very, very close, especially if it stays on the feet. And, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Hani could pull out a close decision if this is a 3-round kickboxing match. So it's a chance that's what it could be. Wouldn't hate anybody taking a shot on Hani here at that kind of dog price. I'm not doing it personally because I think Phillips is going to win a close decision here. But man, this fight could play out a few different ways, and I just don't want my money anywhere near it.
I'm gonna take some Hani.
I knew Brad was going to.
Go.
That's his boy. Yeah, that's his boy. That's a dog here. Yeah.
This is one of those guys that I've resigned myself to losing on a couple more times. I don't necessarily think this is going to be one of those. As you said early on, I think Phillips might try and get some takedowns, but I don't think they're going to come easy. And I think that the longer this goes, the more it turns into a kickboxing match. And what we've seen from Hani from day one is that he will slow down in a fight, but guess what? So will Kyler Phillips. And I think that once they both get tired, Hani's actually going to be the better technical striker by a decent margin. It's just if he actually throws enough to win the decision. But Hani, plus 175. I think that's plus 182 at Bet Online. There you go. We'll take some of that. Probably decision. I don't know what the line is, but we'll move on. Next up in the... Where am I? Lightweight. Yeah. Sorry, folks. They're not all winners. Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Ludovic Klein. Shaun?
We all want to see the tall guy defense. I don't know if it happens here. Klein, if he's smart, he probably grapples here, but I don't know. I think it's going to be tough to consistently take down the Bahamondes, and on the feet, Bahamondes probably going to be better. But I would love to see some tall guy defense because that is always a good time when there's like a 5-inch height difference in this fight, so that'll be a good one.
I love how we've turned you on your own.
Oh, that's fine.
Great. Eat the tall. Never mind the rich. Those poor bastards are sad enough. Leave them alone. Get the tall folks. Wes?
Aaron Waters show like eat the tall rich, like the combo. This probably sets that man into a blind rage. Man, I think the Bahamondes is an absolute fraud. I don't think Klein's very good, and I'm not sure he has a very good path here to beat him. There's no way I would lay over minus 200 on the Bahamondes. I mean, I could see Klein maybe grinding a little bit and getting a round or two here. I don't know. He could get caught there. It's another fight where I think it could play out a few different ways, and I just don't like Klein enough to try to fade the Bahamondes here, even though I do think he's an absolute fraud. That should never be minus 250 or wherever the fuck he is to Klein. I'll probably pick Klein and Talmaster just because I don't like the Bahamondes. But yeah, pass on a bet. I just don't have a good read on this fight whatsoever.
Yeah, I would like to also fade the really tall guy, but I think that Klein's only grappling success has come against Jai Herbert and Mike Trezano. Not exactly grappling stalwarts. And the Bahamondes can, it is like there's a whole group of Bahamondes defending those takedowns. They're tough to get. You got to get past the whole crew. I think he's going to keep it on the feet, and I think he's going to kind of work Klein over. We thought, I think coming into the UFC, he was one of those guys with a bunch of like head kick knockouts and whatever. So people thought he was a really good striker, but just a thing that worked against bad fighters. So yeah, I like the Bahamondes here. I don't want to bet him though. It does actually feel a bit short to me. I will say that. Anyway, moving on. We're on the main card. That was the main card.
That was
wow.
6-fight main card.
Wow. Light heavyweights. This belongs on the main card. Tanner Boser, Alexa Camur. Alexa Camur's last win came in January of 2020. Yep.
Decent.
He hasn't won since the pandemic started. Shaun?
Decent. Yeah, you know Boser's gonna lose because he's Canadian, and I'm betting on him. So that's a double whammy. He's usually losing when he gets taken down. I don't think Camur's gonna get takedowns on him. So when he's on the feet, he does all right. So I put him in a 1 unit parlay.
Wesley?
Yeah, I mean, Boser's down to like minus 145 at Bet Online. Yeah, I mean, if you can't get the guy down and just sit on top of him, he's usually, decent, unless he's maybe going up against big punchers.
High level.
If they land a big one on him, he's in trouble. Camur could land clean on Boser, and he's not going to hurt him. So, yeah, I mean, I like Boser in this fight. I think he kind of gets back on track with this one. I'm just going to watch the line, man. For some reason, they're betting against Boser pretty heavy here for some reason. So, yeah, he's probably just going to be a straight bet for me at some point.
We might even get to a point where Boser decision becomes a nice juicy line. But for now, I'm just going to take money line. Minus 145 to me here is kind of crazy. Camur's not good. Even when he was winning fights, he was not good. So, yeah, that's just it's a strange one to me. That's all we need to say there. Not a real division. Featherweight, Gavin Tucker, also Canadian. Also, is Shaun betting on him? Taking on Diego Lopes. Shaun, are you betting on him?
I'm betting neither of these guys. I don't really want any part of this fight. Lopes is a guy that's looked okay in losses where he's had moments, but been fairly soundly defeated. Gavin Tucker never fights, gets beat up sometimes. Other times he shows up and looks all right. I could see him getting takedowns and fighting off the subs and winning a decision. I could also see Lopes snatching something up because Tucker never fights. So I'm just staying away.
Wesley?
Yeah, I mean, Lopes got that very short notice fight against Almabayev, and just did better than what people expected. I think is the reason like he's favored here. Look, Tucker's not good. His last fight, he got slick knocked out by Ige like immediately. I wouldn't be running out to lay minus 175 or whatever on Lopes here off of a fight to where he just looked better on short notice than you thought he was going to look. So, I mean, looking back at his record, he's got some wins against some bums and some losses there and there. He's like, they think people's just kind of caught in that moment that they saw his last time out. Tucker could grapple here and win a decision. I'm not betting it though.
I'm going to lose money on one of the Canadians, so I might as well just bet them both.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm going to take Tucker. I think that there is, as Wes said, it's that like underdog mentality or overperformance mentality where people are just like, oh, he looked better than I thought against this guy, so he must be good. But I don't know if he's actually good. So whereas we've seen Tucker beat some decent guys. Billy Q comes to mind. So I know I just shit talked the last guy for his last win being in 2020, and Gavin Tucker's last win was in 2020. So I'm an idiot, but hey, I got to find ways to be biased.
You make the narrative you need to make, and we
exactly. Yeah, this is half science, half art.
And it's Brad's long love affair with calf kicks. He hates them, but if his boy's doing it right and winning him some money, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't know what you're talking about. I hate calf kicks. Light heavyweight division, unless they're winning me money. Dustin Jacoby taking on our boy Kenny Nunchucks. He hasn't been my boy lately. I haven't been betting him, and he's been winning, so I should have been backing my boy. Shaun?
Yep, I hear you. I've actually faded him a couple times and lost to him. Jacoby's another guy that I've kind of faded. I don't think he's very good. It's just tough to lay the juice with Kenny Nunchucks. I know he's looked good, better lately, but we're just not that far off seeing some pretty horrific losses. So seems like a somewhat close fight. Jacoby's always in really close fights. I'll just stay away, but I'll pick Kenny Nunchucks.
Wesley.
See, I think Jacoby is a better kickboxer than Nunchucks, which is what this is going to be. But what I've seen out of Jacoby his past couple of fights is he's having a real problem getting backed up and held up against the cage and losing rounds. And Kenny's going to be way bigger than him, can do that, has done that to guys, has grabbed chokes and stuff off of that kind of cage grappling and shit. I think that could be a problem for Jacoby in this fight. I leaned Jacoby when I first looked at this, but man, I can't bet him here. I'm not laying the juice on Nunchucks either. I mean, if this is in the center of the cage, I think Jacoby's a better overall kickboxing striker.
Sure.
So if this is in space and Jacoby can work, he can win rounds here. So it's a really close fight. I lean Jacoby. That's going to be my pick. But as far as right now, it's not a bet. I'm going to watch the line. Like if it gets steamed up, then yeah, probably. But as of right now, Jacoby's the pick. But I'm going to pass on a bet.
I know he's fought a lot of times, so it seems like it was a long time ago. But it wasn't that long ago when Kenny Nunchucks was getting absolutely massacred by Carlos Ulberg, who, like, decent kickboxer, but I still think Jacoby's a better kickboxer than that guy. And he was killing Kenny Nunchucks on the feet and just gassed out. I don't know that Jacoby's going to kill him because he's not that kind of guy, but I certainly think that he can have a lot of success on the feet. And it's just like Wes said, you got to worry about if he gets pulled into grappling exchanges or held against the cage or things like that. But I'm tempted. I'm very tempted on Jacoby here. Plus 140. Not playing it yet. He will be the pick. So now I sound like an asshole for saying that I'm not playing him because I just picked an underdog. Co-main event. Women's strawweight division. Jessica Andrade taking on my pick 4 years straight for some sort of women's championship belt. Tatiana Suarez. Shaun, is this the first step towards it actually happening?
It has to happen at some point. I mean, it's just destiny.
Does it though?
I don't know.
If I keep picking her to be a champ at the end of the year, it's never going to happen. Yeah.
You might be onto something. I still think she gets through Jessica Andrade. I've backed Andrade. Maybe that's why I'm fading her this time. Last time out, I didn't actually fade her. I had the under, but I did not expect it to go the way it did with Shaun just getting her out of there in 2 minutes. But I did back her against Blanchfield. That was very bad. I know Suarez didn't look amazing against Montana De La Rosa, but she was in control that whole fight. I think Suarez gets takedowns early, and Andrade gets tired and eventually gets a sub. So I put her in a parlay with Boser, plus 110 for a unit.
Wesley.
I think Suarez gets takedowns whenever she wants her, controls, eventually gets a finish. I bet her. I got into some stuff.
I'm going to take some over 1.5. I think even if she does get takedowns and eventually find that finish, that it's going to take a little while. And that seems to be what everyone thinks is going to happen. There's also the chance that they stay on the feet for a bit and Andrade doesn't absolutely murder her. I hope that doesn't come to that. But I think I either have to just bet Jessica Andrade at this price and probably take inside the distance, or play over 1.5. I don't think she's going to get put away that quickly here. Something to do. Make me watch it. Co-main event, 140 pounds? Question mark?
Yep.
Who's the fatty?
It's because it's late notice. Rob Font was not supposed to be fighting. This was supposed to be Umar Nurmagomedov, those fraud Madovs that don't show up for work.
Not if they have to fly over to this side of the ocean.
They don't got the good drugs over here. Why would they come over here?
That's right. Bunch of cheating bastards.
Tiger Muay Thai.
Shaun, we got a good one still, though. Cory Sandhagen taking on Rob Fat for this fight. Just wonderful to body shame dudes that are going to weigh 140 pounds in 2 days. Anyway, good fight. Should be some punchy happening and kicky, possibly.
Yeah, it should be good. I do side with Cory Sandhagen. I do have a little bit of concerns with the price that he's at right now. Rob Font is actually a pretty skilled guy on the feet. Usually his downfall is he's in close fights and then he gets clipped with something because the guy he's fighting has more power than him. Sandhagen, he's got good striking, but I don't know if he has the power to kind of rock Rob Font. So then this becomes kind of a closer fight. I know Sandhagen's been wrestling more recently. Font's shown somewhat good takedown defense. So I do think Sandhagen wins. I'm just steering clear of him because Font can kind of make fights close. And Sandhagen, for some reason, the judges don't like what he does. Case in point, that Marlon Vera scorecard. And even just kind of how they scored TJ Dillashaw. I don't know what it is they don't like about him, but it's something. So those are my concerns. I do think he wins, though.
Wes, is it because he's a ginger?
Yeah, it's got to be because he's got freckles or something, because they usually like a dude that throws a bunch of shit, whether it's landing or not.
Yeah,
it makes no sense. Like, that Vera card is one of the worst cards that we've ever seen. Like, it's right up
How
there.
you get to that after watching those 25 minutes of fighting is just...
It's one of the worst we've ever seen. I know there's hundreds of them we could put at worst we've ever seen by now, but it's one of the worst cards we've ever seen. That shit was madness. I think this fight could look a lot like that. I think Sandhagen is going to throw 500 punches. He's going to land all over Rob Font. Yeah, could Rob Font land something sort of big and fight changing? Maybe, but Sandhagen's chin is fucking insane. I think Sandhagen could get a late stoppage here just by all the striking that he's going to land on Rob Font. We've seen Rob Font hurt. Like, it takes some decent power to hurt Rob Font, but Sandhagen's going to land a lot of stuff to where it's going to start adding up later on. It's kind of like the Song fight and stuff. Like, I think Rob Font's going to take a lot of shots here. I mean, shocking if Rob Font lands something and hurts Sandhagen a little bit to me. I think Sandhagen's chin is legit. I think he's just going to throw way too much. And are you banking on another Vera card to where this dude is outputting Rob Font 2-3 to 1? Putting output comparative to Font 2 to 1 for sure. I mean, that's wishing on some crazy shit to happen. I don't see it. I like Sandhagen in his fight. I mean, if Sandhagen's not proven to be right back up there after his last two performances, like, what are we doing? What are people hating on? Like, he absolutely fucking destroyed Song. Like, Song landed on him. That proved his chin again. Like, Sandhagen's chin is insane. Beat a tough dude in Vera. I mean, smoked Vera. I mean, Sandhagen is fucking good, man.
Very good.
I think Rob Font is one of those dudes that is upper echelon, but when he gets to this level, he's always going to lose. He's always going to lose to guys at the very highest level, and I think Sandhagen is at the very highest level.
I think the same kind of goes for Sandhagen. his level might be a little bit higher than
When he gets to the peak, he just can't hit. I could almost agree with that.
And I don't think volume is going to be a problem here for Font. He threw 500 and something against Vera, and he threw a shitload against Aldo. And even like the way Aldo fights, the amount of stuff that he was still constantly throwing out there, I don't think that's going to be the problem for him here. It's going to be like Shaun said, does he get clipped by the big shot and dropped, and does that lose him around? Because I think these guys are going to be back and forth. I don't think it's going to matter that it's short notice or whatever. These dudes are training. He's just not on the same weight that he's normally on.
Font's ready. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Song Yadong.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like, is this also? It's got to be 5 rounds, right?
Yep.
They didn't make it. Yeah. Okay. It's only the catch weight, but we still get 5 rounds. I think both guys are going to throw like 400 punches in this fight. The only thing that, or not 400 punches, 400 strikes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Too much boxing talk.
Too much boxing talk.
Seeping into my brain. And it's just a matter of, does Font's face blow up again? Or does Sandhagen land the big shots that are going to very clearly win him rounds? Because I think technically and volume-wise, it's going to be very, very close. Maybe takedowns come into play. I don't really think so. But given the price, I might just be dog city this week. Font plus 265. There's got to be better than that out there, right, Shaun?
There is
285. Bet online.
285 at Bet Online. Bet Online also has Font plus 5.5 plus 125.
That was the other thing. Like, if you think it's going to be close, and Font by decision at like plus 540, I think that's kind of wild. I don't think, like you guys said, Sandhagen's got a good chin. He takes a good punch. I don't think Font's getting him out of there. So maybe a little bit of Font decision. 625 Bet Online. We'll do that. Anyways, that's enough from us. I'm sorry, folks. We took a little long. We had a long breakdown or a long recap.
Well, we had to talk boxing too. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. That's what put us over. We had 22 minutes of boxing talk. I guarantee if you go back,
it ain't my fault again. Fuck you, Lance.
No, we took a long time on 291 as well, but that was a good card.
That was fine. It's a good card. Big card.
This one's going to be all right. Heading up to the cottage, long weekend. So I'll probably watch on an iPad while I'm drinking on the dock or something like that. Sounds pretty good to me. Anyway, we will be back with you guys next weekend when I assume there's another card. And I don't know what it is.
Watch the guy that had to get his head scanned to make sure his brain wasn't bleeding. And he's in a 5-round main event against Dos Anjos.
Good.
What a sport.
Yeah. Well, until then, folks.